Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Mint Markets. Today we have Thursday, and today we will have another live session analyzing the market, the S&P, and maybe the Nasdaq, and trying to find live trades here in front of you. And we will jump right into the analysis. I will start with the economic calendar here. We had 945 flash manufacturing PMI and 830 unemployment claims, and we will have medium impact news 10 a.m. existing home sales in about 3 minutes. We had already some volatility today. I have already done some annotations here for you, and we will start right away in what I'm thinking and what is, in my opinion, likely or probable to pay out. What we might see today. And we can see that we have this pink shaded area here is the opening range gap. So the price between yesterday's close and today's opening at 930. Here down we have the midnight opening, New York midnight opening price here as a premium or discount array here. Then here, this red line, we have the 8:30 opening price. We have the morning session here delineated, London morning session. And the blue line above here is our new week opening gap here. And the yellow line here is the new day opening gap. So we actually I will actually take a long just here now. We had a run to the midpoint, retracement so far, and we had a market structure shift here, came to the first quarter, and I want to see if we can make higher prices from here, because the higher time frame idea is still that we at some point will go back, will trade to this blue area, the new week opening gap here. So let's manage that one. Our stop loss has to be below here. And our take profit will be here. We're at the midpoint of this gap. Let me measure that one. All right, so far doesn't look good. Wanted to see resistance here. So at the moment, that's not a good reaction I want to see. However, the stop is in place, so should not go lower from here. If I'm right, I might be wrong, of course. And yeah, we will see if we can get back above this gap here and go for buy side. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to measure the midpoint here So 50% is here, and I want to put my stop above the first high here, at a take profit above the first high here, even though I think we could potentially go higher. I may get stopped out here, doesn't change the narrative. Let's see. So far the reaction is not good. It's not good that we had a close here, and it's not good that it looks like we're not respecting the gap here. So yeah, we will see. I actually want to reduce the risk here a little bit, because I think, yeah. So I reduced the risk here because I did not like the reaction here. So we could see resistance here going lower since we closed at the low or wicked through. However, we will wait and see. So just not willing to take the full stop out here. So took 3 contracts off here, and we will stick with the remaining portion here. Hi Abdul, welcome today. Welcome, welcome. Today I have an early trade on. Had this fair value gap in mind here. Higher time frame for me still bullish, and the idea was that we respected the midpoint of this opening range gap here. We have a market structure shift here, fair value gap, we came back here, and I want to see higher prices eventually going to 5, 6, 6, 7, 5 some time this week. And so far the reaction is not great. Now we are back above the gap again. We closed above it, which is good. However, it is still choppy a little bit, also due to Jackson Hole Symposium here. So far it's at least a good thing that that the bodies respected the gap here, and this is not good, of course. However, my stop is in place, so if I'm right, it should be safe here. If I'm wrong, I will get stopped eventually. Body. Hello. Abdul. No. So, seems like the chat is working well. Your stop is my take profit, all right? So we will see who is going to win. Yeah, and I don't like the trade already, so you might win this. You might win this, most likely. Yeah, now it's going to be hit. All right, my stop is hit now. Not the perfect start. At least I reduced the risk here, but started right with a hit. Not good, of course. But yeah. All right, so congrats Abdul. Congrats on the win here. So you closed your position with my stop. Yeah. All right. Gotta accept that. My idea was my idea was that we respected the midpoint of this opening range gap and that we go higher into this new week opening gap. But we came back down here. We respected the fair value gap here, inversion fair value gap, and took out the lows again. Looks like a market maker sell model right now. So I was simply wrong here. Yeah, you won. So congrats to that. I can live with that. Sometimes, sometimes you just get it wrong, and it's good if you make your own trades as well, and if you're successful. I'm glad for you. So no hard feelings. It was a moving train. I think we should not hop in a running trade. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to trade. The mistake probably I did was that I was trying to hope for a trend continuation, that we are going further up, and we're still probably just in a seek and destroy. We are moving up slowly, higher, 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 but we're still in a very much seek and destroy environment. And we took liquidity out, and so I was just on the wrong side. I was tricked by the reaction here of the midpoint of the new range opening gap. Now we are closer in a discount. We're almost at the premium low of the opening range gap, and we are deeper in a discount. We just took out this 15-minute low here, and we have the New York midnight price here, but so far we reached into the new day opening gap, and we will see what's unfolding from there. We have equal low highs here, so at some point that might be liquidity, and on the longer run I think this new week opening gap here will be a target. I mean, doesn't need to be right now. On the daily we have a fair value gap here, a volume imbalance, a new week opening gap. So I think at some point price might want to come back into this, and I think that could draw price on a higher time frame level. And so far we just came back into a deep discount, and we will see if I can maybe I will try to take another long from here. I'm still interested in the long side. We have taken out liquidity here. We are below the 830 opening price at the new day opening gap. We came back to London's range. There's still a deeper discount at the New York midnight price, but so Abdul, if you're still long, probably time to take a partial here, in my opinion. If you're still short, and I will see if I maybe get the chance if we get the market structure shift, and if there is a chance for a long trade at some point during this session. I don't want to jump right into this falling knife, so to say, but if we do get the market structure shift and some movement in the bullish fair value gap, I might try. I'd be looking for a long at some point. So far, all right, cool. So I think you made profit today, Abdul. So congrats on that. Really nice. And take it easy. You don't have to jump in to write another trade. I mean, if a very good trade forms, of course you can take it. But if you already made your profits, made a nice short, which I think you did, and maybe reached your goals for today or for this week, just take it easy. Enjoy. Enjoy your win. Don't jump right into it just because you feel like. And yeah, so far, more liquidity taken out. Fair value gap here. We can mark that one here. And we have traded to the very discount low of the opening range gap now into another fair value gap after taking out a lot of liquidity here, 15-minute sell side, 15-minute sell side, 15-minute sell side, and another 15-minute sell side. So four old lows are taken out. We have another low resistance liquidity run here. So nothing says that we cannot go further down to this midnight opening price and maybe want to attack the sell side liquidity here. But eventually, I think we are in a discount, or we are in a discount. So I'm looking if anything changes at some point, and we get some confirmation that we might want to go higher again at some point this session. Right, I'm out. You are right. I just trade other opportunities with 20% of my profits. For example, if I made $100, I trade only with $20. Yeah, I think that's very smart, and that's smart to not give away all your profits. I think that's a very good system. And you could also, and if you take, as soon as you take the first loss today, I would also I would stop. That would be my personal approach, I guess. I would stop and take the 80% home as soon as I take the first loss. And of course, if you trade with a 20% and you make another win, that's great. It's good for discipline to have yourself controlled and are able to stop. I had a winning trade as well in my personal live account as well. I traded a short here. I cannot show it now, but so I will not talk too much about it. But here we have the midpoint, the CE of this opening range gap, and we had a market structure shift here, a fair value gap. So before the stream started, I shorted here in this fair value gap and took it to the midpoint of this opening range gap, and then I stopped. We had the retracement here, and I thought we could see higher prices from here, but I was wrong about that, so that's fine. And yeah, so far also we have a fair value gap here, another one here, 1 minute here, 1 hour here even. And I will not jump right into this falling train. But again, I think at some point we could see at least a retracement or maybe even a reversal from a discount level today. So who knows? We are back into this. Here we have the new day opening gap, and here we have a 15-minute fair value gap, which so far the reaction off is not too bad. we have a 1 minute high here. So if we break through that energetically, we have a market structure shift on a 1 minute. But let's not jump ahead. Let's see if it actually forms. I would not be very surprised if we try to go lower one more time. Doesn't have to be, but we'll see. If we see a market structure break with a lot of displacement and a fair value gap eventually. Market structure shift with displacement leaving a clear fair value gap or enter longs there with simple 1-2. Yeah, something I'm looking for as well, Abdul. But might take some time. So time is also important. So we have we have 10 18 at the moment, so it's also not the highest probability macro time. Would not surprise me again if we see one more attempt to go lower. So far the reaction is pretty strong. I'm interested to see if we can close below this new day opening gap and use it as resistance. So far we are right into the new day opening gap. So far we have a consolidation here, so not 100% clear right now if we get displacement to the upside from here or if we run out these lows again. So we just have to wait and see. And again, I think here we have a low resistance liquidity run for sell side, a potential one. We have the lunch lows here. They don't need to be taken out necessarily. They have already been taken out. Some of them have already been taken out. And then, of course, we have a lot of liquidity to the upside where everybody has their stop now who is short. And we will see how price reacts at our certain levels here. We have here the first fair value gap after 9:30, a very influential fair value gap, as ICT teaches as well. And we saw that price came up there, had resistance here, and traded lower in fact. And so far it looks like we are staying weak at the very moment. I don't want to short here. However, we can wait and see what it wants if it breaks out of the range here. Yeah, things take time. That's true. Sometimes we gotta be patient and not trading Nasdaq. Not trading Nasdaq too. Nasdaq is a bit choppy. All right. Haven't looked at Nasdaq so far, but let's do that one real quick. So now Nasdaq is actually is weak so far as well. We have taken out liquidity here. We still have liquidity resting here, but let's see if Nasdaq in fact wants to go lower. Let's see how Nasdaq is reacting here. Nasdaq was a little bit choppy before, I agree. so clear. Let's see what it wants to do here. So far both are in consolidation, and we have to see and wait until they potentially break out of their consolidating range. Before, I don't want to play casino. All right, so I can remove this fair value gap. It's not important to me anymore. Here the highs are still important because these are the ones I'm waiting for a market structure shift or not in the meantime. And besides that, we are going to wait. I think we are still in a seek and destroy environment, so we are going for old highs and lows. We gotta be aware of that market profile this weekend today. And I actually fell victim to that in the morning. I was trading basically a continuation move after a discount retracement, and I basically actually fell victim to that market profile of seek and destroy today with my first trade. So Nasdaq looks like Nasdaq just broke a short-term high here. And S&P as well. So we could expect price to trade back into the midpoint here. So now we have actually a market structure shift here. We have displacement, potential fair value gap forming. Haven't formed yet, but we have one here. In the Nasdaq we can go lower as well. So I'm looking. If a potential entry might want to form. All right. So far, have a fair value gap here, not really in the range here, not really in the breaker range here. Want to be here exact. Now we are, and I'm going to buy that one. And we will see if we want to go in fact higher from here again, or if it's too early. So, okay. Doesn't look very promising, so okay. I'm stopped out right away. All right. Second stop out, great. Yeah, was not a good long. Might wanna retrace deeper so far. Did not respect my stop here, and yeah, out again. Was a tight stop, however, did not respect it. We can look at the Nasdaq. Also overshot the fair value gap, so doesn't look really strong here. Pretty choppy so far. I think it's the stop was good, the tight stop, not the perfect conditions here. However, we'll see at the end if it respects that. So far, both the Nasdaq and the S&P do not look like they want to respect that. So yeah, it's okay. It's better to be out. I'm glad I took a very low stop loss here. And yeah, we can see why. So this was just a short-term run on liquidity before going lower. So we saw that S&P just traded into the fair value gap. Also breaker here traded into the breaker and goes lower from here again. It's a little bit annoying or misleading, because we had run up. It looked like it wanted to respect the new day opening gap here. Looked like it respects the low of this opening. All right, yeah, same. So I'm glad you used a tight stop loss, and I'm glad you hopefully only risked 20% of your profit. So all good. Hopefully. And now we had a second stop run close to the New York midnight open. Nice. Yeah, that's a very good strategy.
And
stick to
now
it.
We had a second stop run.
I think that's very smart. And it's good. If you made some good money today, I'm glad. And yeah, let's see. I'm still interested in going long at some point today, but we have a lot of sell-side liquidity here, here, and here, and here. So let's see how deep it wants to retrace today. That was not the market structure shift for reversal. So far. So we have broken, we have traded below the opening range gap here. Still wicking so far. We have fair value gap here is support. I will remove that one now. It's getting on my nerves. And so that we get better visibility here. We have taken out the New York morning session low. So that's some important liquidity here between 2 and 5 a.m. And we have taken out the liquidity here. And that's some important liquidity here. We have just failed the New York midnight opening price, and we have a fair value gap here. Let's see if that's going to be respected here. So far it overshot a little bit, but we have an inversion fair value gap here as well. So traded probability version in value gap, a fair value gap here. So let's see if we can make a lower low here. Not want to trade that one. So let's see, is there any other level that's of interest? We have the second fair value gap here on the hourly chart here at the candle at midnight. So far we traded into this and have a reaction so far. So maybe that actually was the reaction. Let's see if we can make a market structure shift maybe now. But too early to tell in my opinion. We simply have to wait. So far a lot of wicking here. So that was upsetting liquidity here in my opinion. a lot of wicks here. Upset liquidity with the initial run, upset liquidity again here. Let's see if it wants to tap its hand here at some point. So far, we are still in the indecisive chop here. Let's check out the Nasdaq. Nasdaq also pretty much high run out, low run out, pretty much in the range so far. So far it came back into this inversion fair value gap here. No reaction so far. Let's see if it stays heavy. 50% of this range we can measure here. 50% is here. Look at the price reaction here. 15-minute fair value gap, small little one. Traded into that. Very nice observation here. Two-minute inversion fair value gap so far. We are back in the opening range gap here. I want to see if we respect the fair value gap here, the bullish one, and if we can trade through this inversion fair value gap here with the bodies closing above. That's what I'm watching right now. We have 10 minutes left until the full hour macro, which starts at 10:10 to 10:40, 10:10, sorry, 10:50 to 11:10, totally off. So we have 9 minutes left until this full hour macro starts, and we can see if we get a setup there. So far it's still consolidation in my opinion, but so far, yeah, we traded above, and let's see if we can hold ground here, if we trade back lower again. Let's see what the Nasdaq does here. Same, still in the range, still very much in the consolidation range here. I think at some point we'll go higher today again. Even if we stay if we stay weak in the AM session, we have a chance to get along at the macro, at the lunch macro at 11:30. We could see a lunch macro retracement if everything stays weak. So we will see. Buy side liquidity above here. We can mark this buy side liquidity. I would actually like to see another run lower and then a market structure shift. Would be nice. We have 4 minutes left until the opening range macro. Oh my god, what verbal problems today till the full hour macro, as I call it. I don't know if there's a name by ICT, I don't think so. Haven't heard about it. Okay, now we have a body close lower. And it looks still weak, or at least indecisive at the very moment. We have liquidity here above and liquidity here above, and we are in a discount. Should have outlined this gap a little bit earlier. I personally would like to see if we can see another attempt to go lower and then turn around, then make a market structure shift. I don't like this consolidation here. I would not like, I mean, it would be the same, but it would be nicer if it can run lower and then make a market structure shift again, just instead of consolidating here and go right up. We have a wick here, so we can measure the wick here. The 50% level of this wick. We can see if we go through it or close below as an indication how weak we are. Nasdaq probably going lower as well. Yeah, that's good. Indices in sync so far. Again, we have liquidity here at 19,866 still, and within S&P we'd have 5631.5, 5631.5, yeah. Alrighty. Two minutes until the full hour macro. Let's see if we get displacement up or down from that. So far, that portion is really ugly. Buy side liquidity taken, sell side liquidity taken. Now we have a run lower. Let's see if we can touch the midnight opening price here. And if we can take out the lows here. So far so good. I like to see lower prices here. So it's 10:50, so we are in the full hour macro. So we should see some displacement movement from here in the next 10 to 20 minutes. So it's 10:50, so we are in the full hour macro. So we should see Alrighty. So far nothing except of consolidation. But let me tell you that if we stay weak or if we don't see any nice price action unfold during the day, during this session, or if we stay weak, I will look for a retracement after 11:30. I will not stream it most likely, but I will privately look for a retracement after starting 11:30 for buy side liquidity. So if these lows here, these highs here stay intact and we stay low or consolidated, I will look for a run higher. Targeting buy side liquidity here. We have very nice equal highs here. So liquidity from here is here. It's minor buy side liquidity. However, it is relevant here. We have taken out the low again. And remember that the options we can have for the full hour macro is we can see a stop run with movement after, we can see a fair value gap entry with a move after, or we can see an order block. We have three potential setups unfolding here. They can also unfold together. But we have three options so far. We saw a stop run. We could see an order block confirmation with a close here. And we have also basically a fair value gap here. But I want to see some clean confirmation. I don't want to see just a chip chop here and then try to pick a long or short here right away. I want to see some obvious displacement. And again, at least minor buy side liquidity is here. So far, nothing I'm really interested in terms of trade entry. And again, at least so. And if you like me doing further live streams with live analysis and live trades in front of you, I would highly appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like. And that would be a huge motivation for me to keep this going and do this on an almost daily basis as long as my life allows it. Alright, so we had 1, 2, 3 stop runs, three drive patterns here. So I'd be expecting some strength at some point here. Failed to go to the New York midnight price so far. 2 times into this fair value gap. 2 times back above. Now we closed above it. I mean, it's a high resistance liquidity run in here, so everything is balanced here. So price, it's a little bit harder for price to go right through it. We have 10 minutes left. the buy side liquidity here, the equal highs here, there will be a target at some point, in my opinion, today. So we gotta see these highs taken at some point, I'm pretty sure. Can be now, can be later. So far, pretty boring, the full hour macro, to be honest. Nothing really moving, still no real indication. We came back into the new day opening gap, so let's see if it wants to run lower for another time. So far, no bullish setup to me. Not a convincing bullish setup to me. We have a 1 minute fair value gap here, so far disrespected to the downside. What is Nasdaq doing? Nasdaq took out his low here. So far we do have a divergence. We have Nasdaq made a lower low here, and S&P hasn't. So we have a potential bullish divergence here. We can see that low from Wednesday, lower in S&P, low from Thursday, so far higher. And we can see that this low is taken in Nasdaq, so we have a potential bullish SMT divergence here. Could be an indication that we can see a potential turnaround here. Indication that it's one indication, it's not a 100% full risk, but it's an indication that S&P wants to stay strong and is not willing to go lower at the very moment. And if we can see a market structure shift, that would give some confidence to take on a long here probably. We have nine more minutes. So far we have a market structure shift here in the S&P. Remember the sell side liquidity here I outlined, the buy side liquidity I outlined. Looks like we're going to take that on. And we just see that being taken. No entry for me, no entry for a long here yet, but we can see that we have the divergence here, and we can see that we have in fact taken out the minor buy side liquidity now. That's what I wanted to see. I would have preferred to get an entry before we take out the buy side liquidity here. I wanted to be in a trade already, targeting this buy side liquidity. However, did not do me the favor here. We have a 50-minute fair value gap here, midpoint of the gap, so we could reach into that. I think that's a likely scenario as well. So far, no fair value gap entry possibility for me at the very moment. But it looks like we might get one at some point. We have, let's remove the unnecessary fair value gaps here. We do have a fair value gap here. However, I'm not sure if I want to take that. I'm not sure if I really want to take that, since we have already taken the liquidity here now. Not ideal in my opinion. Did not give me that anyway so far. Also here. No chance to enter anyways here. Alrighty, alright. I want to take a long in here, but let's see if it does me the favor of giving me a nice opportunity. 5 minutes left in the opening range macro. So far we're still in consolidation, even though we have the divergence here between Nasdaq and S&P. We have a fair value gap here, even higher one. We have one here on the 3 minute. We have potential one on the, didn't give me that so far. Fair value gap here on the 3 minute. On the 2 minute we have nothing so far. I wish it gives me an entry opportunity here. So far it denies me that. We have a low here, a high here, a low here, market structure shift. We traded through, have not closed above it yet, but I think we will see that. And let's see if we, right, that's a buy for me. And we will here for the mean threshold, and we will have the stop around here. So that will be the last trade for today. Let's see how it goes. It looks shitty again. Nice. All right, I think that's it. Last trade, close the stream today. Not going to work out. That's not the reaction I wanted to see. That is going to be another stop out. What a fucking shitty day today. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. All right. So another stop out. And I will close for today. I'm not interested in that kind of price action anymore. We got to recover from that. And that was a real bad day today. Real bad session. Losses only. And third loss in a row. And yeah, just got chopped up in all the consolidation here. I'm sure we will see some retracement today, but yeah, whatever. Little bit annoying, to be honest. All right, not a good month at all. Not a good month at all so far. Unfortunately, got chopped up in this fucking chop here. Runs just liquidity back and forth all the time. We got liquidity being taken here, but yeah, untradeable for me at least. Not able to trade this successfully. And yeah, we see a low here. Now we got the midnight opening price here. Maybe we will trade in the PM session because I'm really fucking annoyed from this London session here. Yeah, time is over anyways. I hope you could still get something out of the analysis. Sometimes you have shitty trades like this, then it's better to, days like this, it's better to stop probably sometimes. And we gotta come back from this as well. And tomorrow I will most likely not stream. I have personal things going on. Can't stream today most likely, but I will be back on Monday, and we will recover from the day today hopefully. And if I take any trade in the afternoon in the PM session, I will record it and I will upload it here on the channel just for showcasing purposes, because I feel like I don't want to end like this, but however, it's good for me to stop this session, and I will be back another day. I wish you all the best and a good afternoon and also a good weekend. Bye bye.